vitamin G. We talked about this last time, but let's bring it all in relation to fat loss.
I don't remember, Jesse. Did I share the story at the beginning of the book about the railroad employee and the nocebo effect? Do you remember me sharing that?
Yes.
I did. I shared it with you last time
Oh, not in the book, yes.
in the book. Yes, but did I share it?
No,
Okay, good. I'm glad you remembered.
I don't believe we did.
Okay, I start chapter 10 because you've read it. And by the way, Jesse's one of the best podcast hosts out there because you actually read the books, you study your guests, you put together a game plan, you actually love and care about your job and what you're doing, and you're fantastic at it. So if you have not left a rating and review for the Ultimate Health Podcast, do it. It really helps Jesse grow. It helps him get the message out there. This is what he loves to do, and he's so good at it. So I recommend y'all do it because he's one of the best in the game, Jesse.
Thank you, Ben.
I mean that, bro.
And that really means a lot. And I'm not just tooting your horn. You're doing incredible work as well. And I'm always watching from afar. Yeah. Keep up the good work, buddy.
Like understands like. Energy feeds energy. Yeah. Thank you. And I mean it. Leave him a rating and review. Okay. Chapter 10 is my favorite chapter in the book. I'm probably going to write, my next book is going to be all about chapter 10, and I might call it Mental Freedom. I'm thinking about doing that. And chapter 10 is all about how your thoughts influence health or disease. You choose. And I start chapter 10 with a story. I will share the story right now to illustrate how powerful your thoughts are. Bob Proctor, who's from Toronto, shared this story with me. It is from the newspapers in the 1960s, and it's about a railroad employee, this train station employee, who worked inside of a train, inside of the refrigerator cart on this train. And he was working late one night. He didn't realize it gotten so late, and all of his coworkers had left for the night. He tried to exit that refrigerator cart. They had locked him in, and he was worried because he knew nobody was coming back until the next morning. And he's trying to open up that door. He's banging on that door. Everybody's gone. Nobody could hear him. So his thoughts started to get the best of him. He started to think, I'm going to die here. I'm going to freeze to death. What am I going to do? Nobody's coming back until the next morning. And he started to write down on the wall, documenting his night. The newspapers caught this and they took photos of this. At 12 a.m., he wrote the words, I'm stuck in this refrigerator cart. It's cold. I'm not sure if I'm going to survive tonight. 1 a.m., still cold, shivering, cannot keep myself warm. 3 a.m., I'm freezing to death. I think I'm going to die. 7 a.m. rolls around. His coworkers clock in. They open up. They unlock that refrigerator cart. They look and they see this man has died. He froze to death, hypothermia. When they investigated that refrigerator cart, they determined that the temperature apparatus that this guy was looking at had been malfunctioning for weeks, and the temperature never dropped below 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Not cold enough to kill somebody, yet his thoughts created death. And if our thoughts can do that, do you think your thoughts could heal the body as well? The answer is 100% yes. That story is an example of the nocebo effect. There's also the placebo effect, how your thoughts could work for you. And we know that Dr. Bruce Lipton, and I did share this on a previous episode, he has shown that your thoughts communicate with your cells. You have 60,000 thoughts a day. This means you have 60,000 opportunities to put your body in an anti-inflammatory healing state with your thoughts. It's the greatest biohack in the world. And I talk about how you can do that in chapter 10. And the missing piece here is vitamin G. And I know I shared about vitamin G in the previous episode, but I'll just share one study from JAMA that Harvard published in JAMA. 49,275 nurses in this study. It's probably the greatest study ever done on, I almost gave it away, on vitamin G. And 49,275 nurses, and it showed the nurses who took vitamin G had a 9% reduction in dying from all-cause mortality versus the nurses who didn't, and a 15% reduction in dying from cardiovascular deaths versus the nurses who didn't take vitamin G. Vitamin G, if you listened or watched my previous episode with Jesse, is gratitude. I used to say it's the practice of gratitude. I no longer believe that. It's the feeling of gratitude. Gratitude is not a practice. It's a feeling. And there are studies after studies that show what gratitude does to restore your hormones, help you burn fat, produce oxytocin, increase your heart rate variability, put you in a parasympathetic state. Gratitude is where it's at. And I go deeper in the book, chapter 10. It's my favorite chapter. I cannot wait for your audience to read or listen to that part of the book.
It's incredible.
Thank
And
you.
Ben, last question for you. Tethering what you just talked about to fat loss specifically, can you talk about from either a catalyst or a way that we're blocking fat loss by not harnessing the mind correctly?
Yeah, the self-image. The way, if you view yourself as an overweight person, you're always going to be overweight. You're going to continue to sabotage yourself. You cannot outperform your self-image. What do I mean by your self-image? It's the way you view yourself, the way you're thinking of yourself. It's your thoughts, and it's not conscious. You could make a conscious decision. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to get off my medication. I'm going to do XYZ. That's a conscious decision. But your self-image is in your subconscious. It isn't until you change that you will be able to break through, burn fat, get off the medication, whatever the goal is. And the only way, there's only two ways to change the self-image: and emotional impact. I talk about this in the book, but even better than that is the constant spaced repetition. Literally writing down that new self-image of yourself and repeating it, impressing it into your subconscious mind until it replaces the old self-image. And I show you exactly how to do that in chapter 10. I give you a specific affirmation to write that helps you accomplish this. If you're not working on the mind, it's an inside out job. When I went through my 80 pounds of fat loss, it didn't start with keto, didn't start with fasting, it didn't start with coffee or supplements or biohacks. It started with my mind. It started with my thoughts. It started with self-development. That was the first shift. And I encourage you to not negate the power of your mind, the powerful thoughts that you have. It could hurt you, it could heal you. You choose.
If you enjoyed that clip, you're going to want to head over here and catch the full episode. I'll see you over there.
I focused on hormones and inflammation. I lost 80 pounds of fat in 9 months. I went from 34% body fat at my highest to 6% body fat at my leanest. And that was 17 plus years ago. I am proof that it worked, and I kept it off since then.